Hey guys, so I have no idea where the original videos for week 33 and 34 went. So I'm going to go over some of them, but some of them will already have work done because I don't have any other copies to do it on, besides making new copies, which I didn't want to do. So we're going to just go over ones that I don't have yet, or go over the ones that are already done once again. So number 3, John asked for 2 triple dipped cones. If each cone is 55 cents, how much will he pay? That's why we added it twice. Number 4, these are the 2 words you need to know. You might need to Google them. What does parallel mean? What does perpendicular mean? And then fill in your blanks. Tuesday, we said that angle CAB wasn't an acute angle. It is less than 90 degrees. There might be some issues with this one, so we're going to go over and you'll just have to find the answer after I give you some steps to solve it. So we're going to turn them into fractions greater than 1. So we have 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So we have 5/4 times 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And then you just multiply straight across. Tuesday, number 3, reducing. We don't do a lot of that, so we're going to do some practicing. One number that I know they can both go into is 2, but there has to be something bigger. So let's look at the 33. 6 times 6 is 33. Does 6 go into 144? 144 divided by 6? It does. So we now have dividing the top and the bottom by 6. We have 6 over 24, but we can still get smaller. We know 6 goes into 6. Does 6 go into 24? Let's see, we already have 24. We're going to hit divided by 6. It does. So your step would be 6 divided by 6, 24 divided by 6, and I'll give you a new fraction. Zaid will travel from Boston to Washington, D.C. If the trip is 600 miles, about how fast will he have to go to get there in 10.5 hours? So this is a dividing because we want to find out how far he goes per hour. So we have 600 miles. Yeah. Divided by 10.5. Type that in and it will give you how fast he will be going. Again, I'm not going to be giving you all the answers. You need to be doing the math, getting your calculator out, and solving them. On the back, I gave you a hint that this one is a minus problem. So somewhere in here you're going to have a minus sign. Remember, this isn't our thousands, so that means your first number has to be at least in its thousands. Define an equilateral triangle. Google it. Number 5, I was going to have you guys cross that off. On Thursday, calculator question, another calculator question, but you have to remember that you have to type in under your house first. So 37,192 divided by 25. This one was a solve for x. 3/10 or 0.3 times what number is 2.4? Well, what's the opposite of multiplying? The opposite would be to divide. So you're going to type in, we'll give you x equals and your answer. What is heavier? You can Google that. Number 5. Mrs. Roberts organized her class into 4 equal-sized teams. So I have my 4 circles. The boys make up 3/4, so that's why I did a B, a B, a B. If the teams of each team. if there are 2 girls on each team, so one section is a girl and it's A2, how many students are in the whole class? So that means in every single one of these pieces, you have to put 2 in it. Now you have to add up all those 2's. Or you can just do one of them, 1 or 2, 4, 6, 8, plus 8, and figure out what that equals. Now we're going on to week 34. So we did this one. I crossed off word problem because I want a number sentence with the answer of 26. Use at least 2 different math operations. So this first one I did 100 divided by 10, which is 10, plus 16. Well, 10 plus 16 is 26. Now you have to find something else that you can come up to get 26. So something plus something minus something, let's say. Fill in all those blanks, make it equal 26, use any numbers you want. Calculator, name 2 shapes that always have only 2 parallel sets of sides. Parallel looks like this. So those are parallel. If I were to connect them, these are parallel. They have only 2 sets. Here's one set, here's 2 sets. What shape is that? Or what if I were to draw, what shape is that? Parallel, parallel. Name those shapes. Tuesday, 1/4 times 640. So you can keep it as a fraction and multiply straight across. Or you can convert your fraction to a decimal. 0.25 times 640. Number 2, remember you have to do the big number inside first when you type it in. So 28,036 divided by 43. What does it equal? The baseball game started at 2:15 and ran 2 hours and 48 minutes. What time did it end? Okay, so if I have 2:15 to 3:15, there's 1 hour. To 4:15, there's my 2 hour mark. And now I have to add 48 minutes to it. Well, plus 48 minutes. So let's count up. So 4:15 to 4:25 to 4:35 to 4:45 to 4:55. There's 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes. I don't have that much room. Sorry, guys. Now I have to add 8 more minutes. Well, if I add 5 more minutes, I am now at 5 o'clock. Plus my 3 minutes. So the time would be 5:03 p.m. Whoops. That needs to be a 3, guys. It looks like I already did number 5 with you guys. So we needed to add it. And we got our number or our answer of $9.98. And now you need to subtract that from $10 to get what the change will be. On to the back. So it looks like I already did number 5. Farmer Ed has 500 cattle in the pasture. When he rides his horse into the pasture to sort the cattle, how many legs are there? Well, there's 500 cattle and they each have 4 legs, so here's their total. His horse has 4 legs and he has 2 legs. You need to add these 3 numbers up to get your answer. Let's see. Dividing. or you can, last year we talked about how you keep the first one and you multiply by the reciprocal. So we have 3 over 9 times 9 over 1. Calculator. What is the measure of the third angle of a triangle? Well, we talked about a triangle already. There's 3 angles. So 45 plus 71 plus, we don't know the third angle, equals 180. Remember, you're going to have to subtract both these numbers from our 180 to solve for it. Placing numbers on the number line, find your negatives. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and plot where those would be. Oh, I remember that one. I didn't like it, but that's okay. So number 1, remember, we talked about this. This is my base, so it's how many times I'm going to write it, or what I'm going to write. This tells us how many times to write it. I'm going to write 2 times, so 50 times 50. How many inches are in 6 feet? And then in 6 yards means how many inches in 6 yards. So you're going to Google it. You should be able to do the rest. This one I didn't like, but you just have to figure out what we multiplied by. So for this first one, we multiplied by 3 to give us 1/4 times 3 is 3/4. Then 75 times 3 is, so what is 75 times 3? And then this last 5 I said we could cross off. And that is week 33 and 34. Again, I'm sorry, I thought they were posted and they weren't.